I don't always make it to the end. Yeah.
I love it. Well, welcome. Good to have you here
Thank you,
for
thank you,
our
thank
BSP University call. So why don't you go ahead and ask me the question that you have so
Okay.
that so that I understand it and then I can answer you directly.
Okay. Again, I've published books here in Israel. I have
Yep.
somebody I work with to prepare the PDF. I've learned the hard way about the importance of having everything really, really tight before you give it to them, because
Right.
otherwise it gets expensive. But I thought, is there a PDF service that you guys use that you recommend? I could compare prices. Might be good to know.
Good question.
And the second part I'll just mention. The second part is, I've heard from as I dip into the course, and I haven't gone into it deep enough, but a lot of the advertising is free, but you say there's also some stuff, paid advertising you should do. So I'm also asking, what kind of budget am I looking at for the kind of minimal paid advertising to push my book into bestseller status?
Great question. So I'll answer the second one first because that's easier. When you follow our processes, it shouldn't cost you more than a couple $100 for the 1 week promotion. And that's going to get you to international bestseller status. That's going to get you, tons of downloads. In fact, our average client gets a minimum of about 2,000 downloads in the week. When we just launched last week. I can't remember. We launch every single week, but we had one of our bigger launches last week, a book for one of our chiropractic clients. His book did over 5,000 downloads in the first week. So it shouldn't cost more than a couple $100 for you to do that. That's an easy one. Just follow the process.
Yeah.
Use the software. Use the system as it's spelled out. As far as your first question, you're talking about the formatting itself, and where to get the formatting done for the PDF. The formatting done for the digital book and the soft cover, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, obviously it's a little difficult because all that stuff we do in-house. So I have people here that do all of that. Typically speaking, let me ask this. Are you going to do the cover design yourself as well, or is that something that you need done for you?
Yeah, actually, I'll tell you, the book already exists.
Okay.
I've printed 200 copies here. Now, I've been editing and refining it since then. I'll wave it here. I'll wave it in front of you. Can you see this?
For some reason, I don't have that on camera. So maybe you need to click where it says video. Look in the bottom left corner. There's a video thing. If you push that button. There we go. All right. Gotcha. Yes. Back it up just a little bit. It's a little blurry. I can see it. I don't see it really well, but I can see it. It looks like a nice cover.
Yeah. So I've got a cover. I mean,
you have a cover. You have the book itself. Good. So, so what do you need? You just need it put online.
Yeah, I need it to be put online, right?
You need it formatted for a digital version and a soft cover version to sell through Amazon.
Right.
Yeah. Typically
what I've got right now is going to need a little tweaking,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, something like that, typically speaking, is going to, I don't know if you hire someone to do it, you may be able to get this done. I don't know if it's less or more. We do it just for BSP University clients. We include the cover design because we do have to reformat whatever design you have. We'll have to reformat it for the online version, but we do it for $1,000. You may be able to find somebody online to do it for less. I honestly don't know because we do all of this stuff in-house. But typically speaking, a decent cover design and then formatting for both the digital and the soft cover version. And it's not just formatting. We actually do the publishing part of it too. So we'll download it into Amazon. We'll help you set up your accounts in Amazon, all of that stuff. So it depends on how much you need done. We do it all for $1,000, which includes everything kind of from soup to nuts for us to do it for you. If some of that stuff you can do yourself, then you might be able to find someone to do it for a little less.
Well, okay, if I'm taking care of everything but getting the digital version, what's involved in going from having the PDF for the softcover book and turning it into digital?
Well, primarily the formatting and then the downloading of it and make sure the accounts are set up properly, which includes choosing categories, pricing, distribution, that kind of thing. So it's not something that, I mean, my answer, I don't want it to seem vague. I want to be as complete as possible, but it isn't something that I'm in the weeds in every day. But typically speaking, I mean, it's done by, Sydney and the team in the other office. But again, typically speaking, if you're just talking about the digital, it's the formatting for it, it's the downloading of it, and then it's the setting up the book within Amazon and within your account in Amazon, which has everything to do with choosing the categories, choosing the distribution, pricing, all of that stuff. Make sense?
Yeah. Well, so you're covering all of that in your $1,000?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we do everything. Now, just so I say it, we would never offer, we don't even offer to do any of that work for anybody outside of our company. So, within the company, we have two packages, $13,000, $25,000. That's it. Because we don't want to piecemeal stuff for people. But for somebody that's already a BSP University client, sure, I'm more than happy to do that for them, but not outside our company. We don't market or advertise for it.
Okay.
Make sense?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, do some more poking around and come back at us again, but that's good for you.
Yeah, please do. Do some checking around. Depending on what you need, you may not need all those things done by us. Someone will have to do it, though, rest assured. I mean, you'll either have to do it or someone's going to have to do all of the elements for both the digital and the softcover version. And that's not just the formatting and creation of the PDF, but that's the actual publishing piece of it as well.
Yeah. The categories is an interesting, tricky kind of.
It is tricky. Unfortunately, I mean, you already know that, and that's just because they don't match up. The categories that Amazon lists and the categories that are actually on Amazon are different, and I don't have a straight answer as to why that is. So you have to do your best to match up your content with the category, and it's a bit of a trial and error sometimes. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right. Good to see you, my friend.
All right. Greetings from Jerusalem, everybody.
Thank you. Very cool. All right. I'm going to mute you, and then we'll open it back up. Let's see here. Melody. Hi, Melody. Melody's asking, at what point do I start speaking about my book if I am still writing it? So, Melody, can I unmute you? Because I'd like to know specifically what you mean by that. So, Melody, I unmuted you. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Great, and we can hear you too.
Yeah.
So tell me about your book. Tell me about your subject matter, and what do you mean, at what point do I start speaking about it?
I am a relationship coach.
Okay,
so
beautiful.
I'm writing a book about, I'm calling it at the moment After the Yes. Looking at my life when I said yes to my husband, and we started a deeper relationship, getting commitment and all that. And then in the middle, we started having serious problems, and I was thinking of divorcing him and all sorts. And then I heard about Getting the Love You Want, the book, and I read it. And it made me start thinking about things like love and what it means, and what does it mean when I'm being kind to my husband, and all sorts of things. And also the fact that there are different stages in a marriage: the romantic stage, the conflict stage, which many people stay on, and the other blissful stage, which most people who work on their marriage would go through, and they live happily ever after.
So tell me about your speaking. Tell me about how, do you speak publicly now? Is that what you mean by speaking about my book? Okay.
I do speak publicly.
Good.
And I coach people on relationships anyway.
Right.
But I haven't been mentioning anything to do with my book.
Okay. All right, great.
Because it's not finished yet.
Well, that's okay. I mean, sometimes you need all of us need to put a fire under our rear end to get things finished sometimes. So my recommendation is you start speaking about your book immediately. I would even go a step further. I would say that you should get a copy of, you should get the cover design done, and you should start, showing people that cover design, and using that even to help get speaking engagements. Obviously, you're not going to tell them it's done, but you're going to tell them my upcoming book. So, you know, I've done books in a couple of different genres. Obviously, my first book, Life After Debt, was in financial services. I don't even own that business anymore. You know, I've been in publishing now for 6 years. So the other books that I've done, on occasion, I have created a cover image, and I've sent that out for publicity. I've sent that out. You know, Rob is the author of the, you know, soon to be released book, you know, Publish, Promote, and Profit: How to Use Your Own Best-Selling Book to, you know, make an impact and earn an income. I use that to actually get publicity. I use that, you know, to actually get, you know, people to, you know, book me for various events, speaking, etc. So I would start talking about your book immediately. I would get a cover design done for your book, and let that be a fire under you to get that thing done, because you're leaving money on the table, Melody. Every speaking engagement that you go to without your book, you're losing money. Every single one, you're losing money. So do you hate money? Do you hate it?
Oh, I love money.
well, then money is disappearing from you. So you need to get your book done so that you and money can be reunited and and rekindle your relationship. Does that answer your question? Is that helpful?
Yes, very helpful. I have another question leading on from that.
Go right ahead, sure.
From your experience, because what I see that's been selling a lot are books on marketing and business and stuff. What is your experience with, you know, the softer version of relationship books?
Relationship books are hot. They are an evergreen topic, meaning that they're always going to sell. They're always going to be successful as long as they're marketed properly. We've done a number of relationship books. They have always done well for our clients. So you're in a good industry because people are people. I've been married 27 years, and you know, it's just right. I mean, there are challenges, and I love my wife, and you know, most of the time I think she loves me too. And so, you know, but there are issues, there are challenges. So you're in a good business, no question about it. It'll do very well. Just follow the stuff we teach about the marketing piece of it. Don't ignore that and think, well, the market's big and people will buy my book. That's not the way it works. You have to market it well.
Okay, great. Thanks, Rob.
You are welcome, Melody. Thanks for your question. All right, I'm going to mute you and then go to the next one. Michael Botts. Hey, how are you, my brother? Michael is one of our done-for-you platinum clients. Michael's asking, what's your advice on the back cover of the book? My thoughts are a picture of me and some of my quotes out of the book. Falling down is allowed, getting up is required. So here's what we recommend, Michael, for the back of the book. What we recommend for the back of the book is a couple of different things, but here's an example. You probably can't see that, but this is the back of my book. What it says is Amazon #1 bestseller in 4 categories with an average 5-star rating. And then it lists out what people said, what other people said about the book. This book was something I should have read $90,000 in student loans ago. As someone who has lived paycheck to paycheck during hard times and other times feeling on top of the world financially, this book helped open my eyes, blah, 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 blah. So what we recommend for the back of the book is using some of your reviews. I'd say as far as if you want a picture, if you want your picture, I would put your picture, baby, put your mug right on the front of the book, unless you have another image in mind. But, you know, if you're trying to brand yourself, we always recommend in branding yourself, put your picture right on the front. That's Kevin Harrington's book, Put a Shark in Your Tank. Now, he has his picture on the back too, but you can do both of those things. He has a picture on the back, and then he has some of his information as well as reviews. So that's what we recommend, but we're happy to, you know, we'll work with you. It's your book, my friend. We'll do for you what you want, but I would recommend we put some reviews on the back of the book also. I hope that answers your question. Let's roll on here. Amatma, how are you? Hey, Rob, how long does it take from the point you finish your book to get to the production stage within BSP? I'm on the full program. I know you are. I met you. In fact, it's going on. It was last year at one of our $1 Million Author Summits that you became a client and happy to have you as one of our done-for-you Platinum clients. So to answer your question, how long does it take from the point you finish your book to get to the production stage? So I'll answer this a couple of ways, and I maybe will unmute you because there are when you say finish the book might mean a couple of different things. So, Mama, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Rob.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So congratulations. Did you finish your part of it?
It's almost there.
Awesome.
A little more editing and it should be good to go.
Beautiful. So when you say finish the book, do you mean like final edit, final proofread, and that kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. So the cool thing is, with the Done For You program, we're going to take it immediately. Like there's no rest. So as soon as that is done and you give us the okay, it's going to move right to the next team. And what's going to happen is Sydney and Steve are now going to be involved. Steve is going to help you design your cover. Sydney is going to send it out for formatting for both the digital version as well as the soft cover version. And all of that stuff will begin immediately. There's no reason to have a lag time. So literally from the time that you give us the final version, you give us the okay on it, we can have your book live within, conservatively 2 to 4 weeks. And ready for sale. And that's when you go into the promote phase and we begin all the promotion of it. So does that make sense? Any questions there?
No, that makes sense. And and I heard you say that I should get the book cover designed as soon as possible so that I can use it for promotion sooner.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Feel free. Fill out the cover creation form. That'll go to Steve, and Steve can get to work on your book cover. And then that way, while you're still, looking over things, and we'll send it back for editing, we'll change whatever you want changed in it. While that's being done, we can have your cover done.
Okay, cool. And then do you still recommend that every chapter or close to every chapter have an additional download?
I do. I mean, I recommend a minimum of every other chapter. So it doesn't have to be every chapter, but if it is every chapter, that's cool too. So, you want to have as many places in each of your book where people can go from there to your website and download additional resources. So videos from you, or checklist, or templates, or anything. Any type of content that you put together, put it behind a firewall, make them opt in and give their email address for it, and then give it to them. And, if you can do it every chapter, you're better off, but at least do it every other chapter.
Okay. And then after they download that, whatever the free thing is, do we want to put them into an email sequence to try and sell them into a program or whatever it is? Yeah,
absolutely. 100%. I mean, they're there for a reason. They want more Amatma is what they want. They want more of your stuff. So the only right thing to do is to give them an opportunity to buy that stuff. So obviously, the sequence is going to be dependent upon why they came in the first place. If they came in, and you can give me some examples and we can even spend some time talking through it, but let's use my company for an example. Let's say that somebody came in specifically asking about using Facebook, and I have a resource where we talk about all the different ways we use Facebook to promote our bestsellers books. And let's say they came in for that particular resource. Well, my assumption is going to be that they probably already have a book done, right? Now, I could be wrong. They could be just checking ahead, but my assumption is that they're either in the process of writing it or they already have it completed. So now I'm going to market to them based on not writing a book for them because they probably don't need that. I'm going to market to them based on me launching their book and making it a bestseller for them because that's what they were asking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to have a different sequence for all of them depending on where they came in and what they came in looking for.
Okay. Got it.
So I don't want to complicate it to the point where you do nothing. You know what I mean? So just, at least get 1 or 2 sequences up that, warm people up and get them to know how awesome you are.
Okay. Got it. And then, sorry, one more question.
Yep. Go right ahead.
So with the the kind of landing pages where they'll be able to download freebies. Do I want that through my regular doctoring website, or do I want a completely separate landing page not connected to my main website?
Okay, well, this is more a strategic question. And so in one sense, there's no right or wrong answer. So you can totally have it through your current website, as a doctor, and that way it warms them up to you and brands you more. You can also have it through some unbranded website. Mm-hmm. So I'm in the process of buying publish.net as a domain. Mm-hmm. Publish.net is a very, unbranded and more like an informational type site. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be using that site to, direct people to information and give them content and help, not as me, Rob Kosberg of Bestseller Publishing, but, as somebody that, not because they came to me, but because they came to publish, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So you can go branded or unbranded. I'd say most people that are coming from your book, they're already going to have a semblance of a relationship with you because of your book. So I would probably stick with the direction of keeping it on your doctor website.
Got it. Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. I look forward to reading your book when it comes out.
All right. Coming soon.
I know. Very cool. All right. So I'll mute you there. Next question, Larry. Hey, Larry, how are you, my friend? Good to see you again. Larry says, my book is published. I had this done through another publisher prior to joining BSP. No one's perfect, Larry. Totally fine. This happens. I'm on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. I've done one local TV interview this week. Congratulations. Very cool. I have 3 scheduled radio interviews this month. Great. I have some speaking engagements scheduled. Things are moving, but not as fast as I'd like. No, you're not doing anything. You just have radio, TV, your book out. Sure. You gotta start working, Larry. Things are moving not as fast as I like. I'm working on video segments and need to do Facebook Live sessions. What else should I prioritize to work on now? So great question. How about I unmute you? I see your video there. So, hey, Larry, how are you?
Doing fine. Doing wonderful. Thank you.
That's great. Hey, congratulations. I mean, I'm obviously teasing, but you have great things going on. So congratulations with that. You got a heck of a good jump start.
Well, good. Thank you. And again, it's, the book is the people who are reading the book. I'm getting great responses and so
beautiful.
Forth. And that's what's really has set about in motion these things. I've got another radio interview that just got set up for next month. But I know I need to do some other things because the publisher that I'm doing, I didn't get into their market. Yeah. So I've got 3 more books that'll be coming out, which we will do here or then. But for this one, where do I need to really put my energy right now for the biggest bang on the buck?
Totally understand. So the best way I can answer that is with a question, and that is, what do you want? Like, what is the thing you want most from the book? Do you want speaking engagements? Do you want PR? Are you trying to get leads generated for your business? What do you want?
I would say speaking engagements leading to or obtaining leads from that.
Fantastic. Then simple. Then what you're doing with the media is exactly what you should be doing. Keep doing whatever you're doing to get the media. What we do is we just have simple systems in place. Like, my publicists are working on constantly PR for our clients, and they mix me in. So, they'll find some PR or opportunity or media, and they'll say, hey, Rob, do you want to do this podcast? Or Rob, do you want to fly to San Francisco and be on CBS or whatever? And so it's not a super big priority for me. As it comes, I take it. Good. But every month I want something. So you can do the exact same thing. It doesn't need to be your top priority, but keep building it because you're going to use that media for your speaker page and for your added credibility. So what you do need to do now, because what you want is speaking engagements, is you need to set up a simple system where you're sending your book out every single week to opportunities, to conferences, to associations, to private organizations, local and national, that may be good opportunities for you to speak at. So, you know, I have a short training, 15-minute training in BSP University on, you know, maybe a deeper dive into this.
Okay.
So I'd suggest you go look at that. But in simple terms, it's find your target. So, you know, you're a relationship expert. So, you know, where would be the absolute best places for you to speak at where you could make the biggest bang and potentially attract people? You need to think through that. What kind of associations? What kind of conferences? We're not talking about speaking for a fee, although they might pay you. What we're ideally talking about is you speaking in front of people, 200, 500, 1,000 people, and all of them go, I would like to hire this guy. Because that's worth a lot more than someone paying you 10 grand to go speak on a stage where no one is interested in hiring you. Okay? Make sense?
Yes. One other question. I was contacted by a missionary who had read the book, loved it. They do a lot of work in Ukraine and had asked me about publishing it in another language. Yes. I have 100% rights to everything, cover design and so forth. What, if we start going in that direction, any suggestions as far as moving toward getting it published in another language?
Yeah,
that's all new to me.
Sure. And we've done some of that. We've done Norwegian, Spanish. We've had books translated from Portuguese. We're working on one that's Russian right now. So we've done some of that. It's not a priority focus for us simply because the U.S. market, it tends to be the biggest and richest market really in the world. So that's the priority I would recommend to you. However, you know, the best way to do it is to continue along the self-publishing path. You know, the steps would be find an expert in language that can do the translation for your book in an expert manner. Get a second set of eyes, again, another language expert that is going to take a secondary look at the book. And then you can use Amazon to publish directly to that country in that language. Okay. And so that way you control everything and you can make it available, you know, to that country in that language. And what may happen, and this happens sometimes, is publishers in that country may see the book doing well and say, you know what, we'd like to buy your rights. And what they'll do is they'll pay you a certain sum of money and they'll begin marketing it for you and you'll collect royalties on it. And that's, when it comes to foreign language stuff, that's always the best thing to do. Let them market it in their own home country. And if you still keep the royalties to it or a portion of the royalties and partner with them, then it's a win for everybody.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. So watch that short training, focus on the speaking engagements and a simple system every single week to start reaching out to these prospective speaking engagement opportunities for you.
Now, tell me that training again.
If you go into BSP University, the training it's something like a simple system for speaking engagements, but you'll see a whole tab for speaking engagements because there's a number of things there. There's scripts, there's templates, you know, there's a number of things that you can access. That's where I'd start.
All right.
Okay, my friend.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Give us an update on how things go for you.
Will do.
All right, so Maureen has a question. Unfortunately, I can't make it to LA for the event. Oh, bummer. Will you be syncing and be able to do a live stream with Zoom for those of us who can't be there? Or what can you suggest as my next step with a book completed and ready to be marketed, sold? So, Maureen, I will probably do some Facebook Lives from the event, but the whole event is being professionally recorded. So I will have the entire event put up in the BSP University page. Now, it'll take a couple of weeks for it, you know, to all be rendered and edited and all of that, but I'm going to professionally record the whole thing, and it's going to be yours, available to anybody in BSP University. So there'll be some Facebook Lives, but it'll just be snippets, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes, 20 minutes at the most. But everything will be available to you. Now, as far as your second question, what do you suggest is the next step with the book completed and ready to be marketed, sold? So, the next step is the promote phase. I'm assuming that you've already either published it or you're going through the process of publishing it, meaning all the minutia, but it's important, like the editing, the formatting, the cover design, soft cover, digital version, distribution, choosing of the categories, pricing, all of that stuff. That's the next step after the book is done is the publishing elements. We, of course, do all of that through Amazon and CreateSpace. That's my recommendation. They're the biggest publishing platforms by a factor of 10 in the world. After that is the promote phase. And the promote phase is all about making your book an international bestseller. That's what you want to do. You don't want to just cross your fingers and hope the book sells. That is not a strategy for success. You want to market the book. You want to have a plan to market it. All of that is available to you in BSP University. If you want to talk to myself or David or Randy or one of us here about maybe hiring BSP to do that for you, I'm happy to discuss that with you. Obviously, we have our complete done-for-you program, and BSP University is the do-it-yourself, where we have all the training for you to basically learn to do this stuff yourself. So the next steps, get your book published, all of what that means, editing, formatting, cover design, digital version, soft cover version, etc., and then get your marketing plan in place to get that baby to be a bestseller and begin your PR, your profit phase, which is getting on radio, TV, etc., speaking engagements. If you have a follow-up question, then go ahead and type it in. Let's see. Jackie, hey Jackie, how are you? I think I'm going to see you from your post. It looks like I'm going to see you this weekend. Curious how to maneuver the book series. Already have the first one, 6 years old, needing to get in front of people to create the next series the way they see it, rebuilding bridges between the Jew, Christian, and Muslim, and all faiths and no faith. Need people from all over the world to answer the same questions for every book in the entire open-ended series. So thankful for this group. Yakub and Israel even answered with the most beautiful answers, a little confused of the steps. So I'll unmute you, Jackie, and you can, there are several questions in here. Are you asking primarily how you actually get in touch with these people, how you get the questions answered? Tell me, can you hear us okay? And let's make sure we can hear you. I can't hear you, so double check. I unmuted you. Make sure you have your sound on. You might have to double check that. Test it again. We can see you okay. We cannot hear you. Still nothing. Try clicking mute. Put your little thing over mute and push it and then unmute it. See if that helps. Still don't have you. I'm going to leave you unmuted while you maybe work on that and go to the next one. If your question is more about how to get connections with people all over the world in this way, the simplest answer that I could give you for that is social media, Facebook in particular, Twitter as well. Those are the absolute best ways to get connected with people that share your same concerns. And so what you would want to do, and if we get the sound working, you can ask me a follow-up question. But what I would do if I were in your position is I'd look for some groups on Facebook in particular that have to do with unifying people of other religions, or maybe even people of certain religion and religious persuasions. And I would join those groups, and I would start relationships and conversations around your questions. And you'll get, lots of people that are willing to answer your questions within the social media groups. So I hope that helps and answers it. But social media is awesome. I love social media. Let's see. Jack says, maybe I could ask you in person at the seminar this week. Totally. Whatever works best. Don't want to take everyone's time. No worries about it at all. Larry says, hate to leave, but have to go to another appointment. Maureen says, wonderful. Great, Maureen. Hopefully that was a good answer for you, Jackie. And if not, I'll see you on Friday. And we'll have times for Q&A and, all different kinds of subjects. But I think if I understood your question, that's going to be my best answer. Use social media, start on Facebook, and find those groups and build relationships within those groups. That's the most powerful way. And Maureen hopefully answered your question as well regarding what the next steps are. And if you do want to speak to somebody here, say David or Randy, just call Rebecca in the office. It's our office number is 626-765-9750. That's if you want to talk about how bestseller publishing might be able to help to do all of that stuff for you rather than you doing it on your own. You decide there. It's totally fine either way. So that's great. Tons of folks on, but I thought we had a lot more questions, but we don't, which is cool because we've been going close to an hour as it is anyway. So if you have another question, let's take a minute. Go ahead and type it in now. If not, then we'll end in just a minute. But just as a reminder, we have the live event again. It's this Friday and Saturday. It's at the Westin LAX. Please come early. Registration is at 8:30. We have, probably 50 or 60 people. We have more than that registered, but I always assume for one reason or another that some people won't make it. I have some special things that are happening that I've never done before that I'm pretty excited about. One of them, obviously, I've shared, and that is that I'm going to have a rep in that has taken people's best-selling books and actually made them into both movies and television shows, like reality shows. This is both for nonfiction and fiction. Books like The Blind Side, books like Some of All Fears, both fiction and nonfiction. So pretty cool and excited about doing that. So Maureen, to answer your question, the telephone number is 626-765-9750. 626-765-9750. I'll type that in your chat box as well. Cool. So anyway, those of you that can make it, I'm super excited about it. I spend a lot of time working on this and making sure the content is great and that it's stuff that is applicable to what is working right now for you. So if you're going to be there, I think you're going to find it extremely valuable. And maybe even transformational. Those of you that are still thinking over, I would, just highly recommend you take the time. Having your own best-selling book was transformational for my life, and it has been for so many of my authors, and it can be for yours as well. So, giving a couple of days to an event like this that I'm not charging you for is, it's pretty powerful. Anyway, I don't see any other questions. Michael says, keep doing the good work, brother. Great job today. Thanks, Michael. Love you, brother. And excited to see your book come out. And thank you, all you guys that are coming to the event. I can't wait to meet you and give you a big hug and high five and get to know you personally. We'll have some downtime to get to know each other a little bit as well. And those of you that can't make it, shame on you. Just kidding. I'll miss you. So have a great week. And I'll see you again. Oh, by the way, one last thing. We are not having a BSP University call next Tuesday. And that's mainly because, I'm going to be giving my all for the entire weekend, and it's going to be pretty powerful. So no call next Tuesday. There's a lot of catching up to do for us in the office after a big event like that. But we will pick it up the Tuesday after. So thanks again. You guys have an awesome week.